So the San Diego real estate market is always changing, but that also means there's opportunities depending on where you're looking, whether you're a buyer or a seller. And that's what we're going to dive into in this video. Where are those specific opportunities? We're going to do boots on the ground, what we're actually seeing with clients out there and where the opportunities are presenting themselves. So we're going to jump into it and let you know what we're seeing out there right now. I'm Chris Erickson, real estate agent right here in San Diego. And if you're thinking about making a move, all of our contact info is right below. Schedule that discovery call. We can dive into your wants, needs, all that kind of stuff to really get a good idea of what you are looking for and what your specific situation is, because that's what it really comes down to in a lot of this. But let's dive into the 5 opportunities. This isn't like me telling you go do these things. It's just going to present them and then you guys decide if these are potential opportunities for you. So let's get into it right now. So the first opportunity that we're seeing out there is for buyers, and specifically buyers looking at fixer upper properties. Now, back a few years ago, it didn't really matter what type of house hit the market. Every single home out there was getting multiple offers, was getting prices that were going well above what it was listed at. And there was just a lot of people for every single property, location, condition, all that didn't necessarily come into play too much because the number of buyers out there was so many that every house would get gobbled up. As we're moving into a little bit different market, some of those properties that might need a little work are seeing some opportunities out there for buyers if you're willing to put in a little elbow grease. Now, when you're going this route as a buyer, yes, you are going to have to come up with the extra funds to renovate the house, right? So you're going to get it at a better price. But if you're willing to slowly over time do some of the work yourself, maybe hire just professionals and kind of run the show yourself, that is definitely an option that we are seeing available out there right now. Now, you don't just want to buy a house that's like falling apart. You know, there's certain things you got to look for when you're out there. The condition is, you know, structural stuff. Is it just going to be paint? Do we just like need a full renovation, new kitchen, new bathrooms, new flooring, new paint, that kind of stuff? Or is there bigger issues at play? So when you're going in down that road and I want to fix her upper and I want to fix it up myself, there's a few things to, you know, that we could help guide you through to make sure it is the right property for you. Like I said, one of the cons of this is, yeah, instead of buying a home that's already dialed in, that has been fixed up, that is ready to go, you are buying a house that needs some work. So those extra funds are going to have to come from somewhere, either from saving over time, doing it yourself, but there's also potentially loan programs that you get when you are purchasing the house. So there are some options out there, but that is one of the areas where these homes, like I said, are sitting a little bit longer than we have seen in the past, a little bit more room for negotiation. And it comes down to every situation. Every area is going to be a little bit different, but that could be one route you can go if you want to get into a property and put in a little work yourself. The second opportunity we've been seeing is one for sellers, specifically sellers who are moving out of San Diego. They've been in their homes for the past 3, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the case may be, selling their properties here in San Diego, moving those funds elsewhere, and getting a lot more bang for your buck. Now, here in San Diego, yes, we're still not in that frenzied market. So there's a lot of things you got to think about going here, but also what's going on in that next market. San Diego is still has a relatively low days on market compared to a lot of different areas. The homes are still selling somewhat close to list price, if not at list. Really comes down to situation, condition, location, which we always talk about. But when you're going to somewhere else, maybe the days on market are a little bit longer. Maybe there's more inventory, so you're getting more options out there. But also the biggest thing is you're taking the cash that you got out here, the equity that you got out here, you're able to move that to a new property, get some more square footage, get some more land, whatever you are searching for out there. And we're seeing a lot of clients have success in that, where they do want a lifestyle change or they're moving for work and they do need to sell their house out here, buy somewhere else, and seeing a good return when they do get the next property. Now, when you're going through this route, yeah, there's some things you have to think of. Okay, if you're selling your house out here, it sells super quick. You want some extra time to find your next property. Are you going to find a rental in the meantime? Then you have 2 moves. Are you going to get a rent back in your current property? Then you can find the other place. So you always need a plan B in all of these situations, but there is some opportunity we have been seeing if you are moving out of San Diego to a different place. Third opportunity is for buyers, and the way I phrased it, I'm gonna say like non-specific buyers. Maybe you don't have a specific type of home, you don't have a specific location. the main thing you're focusing on is the budget. Now, we work with a lot of clients relocating from different areas, so they're usually more open to explore a few different areas when they are looking for homes out here in San Diego. When you live here, which I grew up here, you kind of live in your little bubble. You're like, I want to live in this specific place. I actually want to live in this specific neighborhood. But if you're able to focus on your budget and what you actually want out of the house, it gives you a few more options out there. So instead of, yeah, right now we have a few more homes coming on the market. There's a little bit more inventory out there, but it's not in that we have seen in years past. So it is still limited if you are getting super specific on your search. But if you take a few different areas, let's say you're looking in Poway, Scripps Ranch might work, and Rancho Bernardo might work, and a few different surrounding areas down there might work. Or if you're looking in Carlsbad, can certain areas of San Marcos work, or certain areas of Vista work? Now, if you have kids, you're looking for specific schools or those kind of things, yeah, it's got to be that specific area. You got to be within that school district, right? But if you're looking at mostly, okay, I want to be 30 to 40 minutes from work, I want to be 20 to 30 minutes from the beach or downtown or wherever the case may be, it's going to spread out your search a little bit, but give you some more options when you are out there looking for a home. And this kind of goes against what we talk about a lot when, especially during our initial calls with clients. Okay, it's a process of elimination. They give us all their parameters. We want to narrow it down to something specific. In this case, the specifics are not necessarily the location or the type of home. The specifics are the budget, focusing on that. And then going from there, you're going to have more opportunities. You're going to have more places to look at. The next opportunity is for sellers, and it is going to be entry level homes. So could mean a different thing for different areas, whether you're in Encinitas or Escondido, and it's going to be specifically homes that are dialed in. So homes that was dialed in. I say that to people, they're like, what do you mean by dialed in? Ready to go, move in ready. Somebody else can just come right in, recently updated. Now, if a home has been updated 10 years ago, it might not be that dialed in that we're talking about today. It might be different aesthetics, might be nice, beautiful, ready to go, but people are looking for that brand new. So if your home is one of those, we're seeing those homes move fairly quickly. Back to point number one in fixer uppers, we're even seeing flippers come in and buy some of these entry level homes in certain areas. Let's say some of the beach areas for like $1.2 million. Then they are fixing it up. It's going on the market for $1.6, $1.7 million. And they are selling relatively quickly because a lot of people aren't looking for those fixer uppers. So once again, that's part of the reason there's some opportunity there. There's not as many buyers in there. But for sellers, since there's not as many people looking for the fixer upper, they want that dialed in. A lot more people are coming towards those where you're seeing potentially a few offers come in, not the frenzy that we had seen in the past, faster market times, and you are going to get usually top dollar for your home. And part of the reason people like that is because, first off, you don't have to do anything. It takes a lot of working with contractors. It takes a lot of time, effort. Are you moving in there? Are you renting someone else? Why it's getting renovated? It takes all that out there. Plus, they get to finance the additional amount. So let's go with that 1.2 to 1.6 house that somebody fixed up. Now they're selling for 1.6. Well, that whole $400,000. Maybe somebody could have done it for $250,000, $300,000 over time as they fix it up themselves, but paying for the convenience of having that done and also having that in your loan. So you basically get to finance that extra $400,000 at 6 or 7% rate or whatever the case may be, as opposed to that coming out of pocket. So for a seller, if you have that type of home, great. Or can you flip your own home? Can you fix it up before you sell it? Get it dialed in and ready to go? That is another option that we've seen work as well. And this next opportunity is for buyers. The opportunity is looking for these specific lots where there's a little bit more room. You do have potential to add an ADU to add more value onto your property. That adds value over time, adds equity over time. And for sellers having these bigger lots, you're going to ask for a premium potentially if you are in specific areas. There's investors right now within the city of San Diego. Rules are potentially changing. How many ADUs can you build? How dense could it be? How many bonus ADUs can you get in there? So this might shift a little bit, but I think long-term here in San Diego, if you do have ADU potential as a seller, I think those lots will have a premium. But there are investors coming in right now and buying these single-family homes properties that have a decent lot that are within certain parameters of transportation and the lot size, etc. and they are coming in and developing these properties and putting 4, 6, 8, a lot of ADUs on these properties. So if you own one of these properties, there is a little bit of benefit to having those as well. Like I said, long term, I think lots with ADUs or ADU potential are going to have a bit of a premium going forward. So within any market, there are opportunities. It's just focusing on those and finding them, whether you are a buyer or a seller. And if you guys are thinking about making the move, maybe it's for one of these opportunities, or maybe you have a specific situation you want to discuss. All of our contact info is right below. I'm Chris Erickson. We got a real estate crew right here in San Diego, and we got your back when making the move here in San Diego.